All right, Elaine, I'm rolling here.
Okay, so can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Hans Ruffler. I was born in 1937 in Heilbronn. Heilbronn. That's on the Neckar River between Heidelberg and Stuttgart. It's a
Wow.
beautiful area. It's Württemberg. It's very well known for wine. Gets very good red wine all
Yeah, I think
around
I've
the
heard of
town.
it. That's really cool. Okay, so I'm doing a report on the Hitler Youth. Can you tell me what you remember about the Hitler Youth in
Well,
Germany?
I remember the uniforms that they wore. They was kind of a yellowish shirt and a dark black, I think, shorts and a
Right.
belt. And they had a little dagger dangling on the side and a necktie. And yeah, you had to be 10 years old to get in. 10 to
Yeah,
14 was the first stage. And then there was this, after that, it was Hitler Youth again until you were 18. But I desperately wanted to get into it, but I was too young. So
yeah,
I had imitated sometimes. You know, we all try to be part of it. Anyway, I only know good things about it.
hmm
It seemed they did all the things that I like to do. They did, they camped out and they did stuff like that, and they did a lot of hiking, and I think they did some rifle practice or something with small rifles. I'm not sure, but anyway, I was never in it. I was 7 years old then when the war was over, so didn't make it. 8 years old, I guess.
yeah,
Anyway, I was young, too young.
that makes sense. So, what was it that like drew you to them that made you want to be in the Hitler Youth?
Well, the uniforms I liked, and the activities that they were doing, and the marching around. You know, when you were a kid, it was Nazi stuff, but I didn't. That to me, it was a good thing. It was a great thing to have uniform and to walk around, and to have a little dagger on the side or whatever, and it was kind of fun. I never
Yeah,
knew anything bad about it. I mean, I found out later what it was all about, what Nazism was all about. But at that time, a kid, I remember when I visited my father and I went down to our market square once in front of the city hall, and there was some kind of a thing. And I remember everybody had to raise their arms, for the salute. And I was proud to do that, standing there like this, raising my arm.
yeah,
I had no idea what it was all behind it. We didn't know. As a kid, you don't know.
hmm
It all looks great. Anyway, that was my experience with the Hitler Youth. So
uh,
I couldn't get in. I had to wait. Maybe 10 years old.
yeah.
So
What
anyhow,
else do you remember about living in Germany at wartime?
well, it was very tough. We had to be in the cellar every night, just about. I know our town got hit in October 1944 with one bomb, and that bomb hit our house, in the middle of town, right next to the church. And my father got killed. He was upstairs, we were down in the cellar. So our cellar was used to be our house used to be an old monastery, and they converted it into a business in the house. So it was a very old house. And the cellar is still there today, I think. Everything was destroyed afterwards. But the cellar never got destroyed. So in 1944, in December, the whole town was leveled. If we would have still been there, we would have not been able to get out. Nobody got out there. Everybody got killed. The whole town was leveled. And that was unfortunate. That's the kind of thing I remember. I remember we were living out in a place on the edge of town, looking into town, and everything was just one big fire.
Wow.
So anyhow, so much for that memory. Wasn't very pleasant.
I
And
know that's crazy time.
then the soldiers came. First the German soldiers, and then the American soldiers, and then the war was over. So,
hmm
yeah. So anything else you want to know?
Uh, yeah, you mentioned you had two sisters.
I had
Um,
3 sisters.
three sisters. Okay. Yeah, so they were in the Hitler Youth. What do you
Well,
remember about them? Like,
two of them were in the. It was called Bund Deutscher Mädchen, no, club of German girls, Bund Deutsche
Yeah.
BDM. And they wore uniforms. And the two older ones, Inge and Eva, both of my older sisters, and the youngest one was only a baby. She was just born in '43. So she doesn't remember any of that. But the other two, they were both in the Bund Deutsche Mädchen, this boundary of German women, girls. It was the same as Hitler Youth, except girls.
Yeah.
So they would be marching around. I'd love to see them in their uniforms. They had the same kind of uniforms, yellowish kind of shirts or blouses, and the skirt or the shorts were dark black or dark brown. It looked very good. Anyhow,
Yeah.
that was a typical thing during the Third Reich, and to us as a kid, everything looks great. You know, you think it's all wonderful stuff. But it's bad. It was bad. It was the beginning of the converting, changing your mind. Influencing your mind.
Mhm.
This Hitler had a very bad influence on everybody. Anyway, so much for that.
Yeah.
And then we had a maid in those days, and we moved to her farm. She came from a farm outside of Heilbronn. And we stayed there for a few years until we could get back to our town, until the war was over.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's where I learned, in that little farm where we lived, that's where I learned about chewing gum. So my first American soldiers, they gave me gum and a banana, and I ate the whole thing. I didn't know you had to peel it.
That makes sense. That's funny. Yeah.
So anyway, it's the good old days.
That's so cool. I just have one more question. What was the reason for you and your family to move to America?
Well, my grandfather was an American citizen. He came here in 1872, I think, and he stayed here for 10 years and went back to Germany, started a business. And so we always had a tie a little bit to the America. And when my sister married an American, Eva, the next older, she married an American, and I came over here. I had a pen pal in Arizona, which we had to have in high school, and I had a good contact with her and her family. So I came over here. I wanted to come to this country, and then after I came, my mother and my stepfather came right a little after that. We all came. The whole family came. We liked it here. We used to have a furniture store in Germany, and we started it after the war, but we never continued it. We sold it, and they came over here. So that was the end of that German stay.
Yeah.
So
That's a cool story.
I lived in Arizona for a little while, and then I came back here to New Jersey, and then I got drafted.
Yeah. Good questions.
So anyhow,
He said
What?
he said he didn't talk to his sisters about it. Could you ask him about that?
Right. Did your sisters ever tell you anything about being in the League of German Girls?
no, we didn't talk about it that much. I just admired them, their uniforms, and they were able to participate in all kinds of activities, which I couldn't, of course, because I was a boy and I was too young. So
Yeah.
that was it's desirable thing for young people to be part of that group. I guess it's like here belonging to a sports club or something. So, and they were taking hikes and trips sometimes. They were going somewhere, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So anyhow, there was that. Anything else?
Yeah.
What you said the whole theme of your project is what, transitions or moments in history. Say that and ask how that may have what is the theme?
Yeah, so the theme of our project documentary it's called Turning Points in History. That's like the whole theme of the general assignment. Would you say you could think of any ways that a turning point could like relate to your experience in Germany?
Well, I can't think of any one particular turning point. I mean, the end of the war was a big thing. That was it. You're no longer having to go to the shelter every night or seeing mines going by in the sky. We saw that artillery firing right over us. Anyway, that was gone. Now was peace. That was a big thing. But there was no specific day. I can't remember any specific day that I said, well, that's it. It was a period of time.
And
Anyhow.
what is the difference in the point in history?
Are there any ways that you can think of the Hitler Youth as a turning point in history?
And a turning point in what? In history?
In history, yeah.
No, not really. And they always had, there were always Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and there were always groups of youngsters doing stuff. And Hitler Youth started in 1922, I think, started very early. And it wasn't Hitler Youth, it was just youth. And it was a group. It's like boys, like Scouts.
Yeah.
The same kind of thing. And it was, people like to get together.
Right.
And have little clubs and things. So that was an interesting thing. I was anxious to get in, because they were doing stuff. They were taking hikes, going camping and doing things. So that was kind of fun. And a uniform, that was fun. And a kid, you walk around with something. Anyhow.
Was there after the war? Was there anything like that was continued?
No, there were scouts, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and I think I joined the Scout movement for a while, but it was very religious, and I didn't stay in it. There was Boy Scouts. So anyhow, there wasn't much going on anymore in that area. I don't think they have much here today in Germany. Oops,
Uh-oh.
So anyhow.
Just wait for
Call from ST Jude.
ST Jude.
Call from ST Jude.
I have a question. Was the part of Germany you were in after the war in East Germany or West Germany?
West Germany.
West Germany.
We were very lucky. We were in the American zone, and I only have good things to think of, to remember from that time. I got my first banana then in those days. And stuff like that. And,
Did you tell about the banana?
yeah, and just an easy way of life. They were very friendly to us. I remember the tanks going by our little farmhouse, and the GIs throwing chewing gum down at us, standing on the side of the road.
Do you still like bananas?
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure. That has never changed. It was during the war, it was a very tough time. You had to, everybody got stamps, and if you wanted a piece of bread in a store, you had to have a stamp, and you got so many stamps per month, and if you ran out, you couldn't get any more bread, no matter what happened. And so it was, and butter or cheese or whatever. There was a stamp for everything, little stamps for everything.
So Hans, the Währungsreform.
Oh yeah, then they changed
Everybody got 40
Reichsmark. The mark changed to the Deutsche Mark, the D-Mark. That was a big thing. Everybody got 29 marks or something like that. Everybody in Germany got the same amount of money, cash, and that was it. But then some people that just exploded. Not all the money was devalued. When was that? I forgot the year.
48 or something.
48 or something like that. But it was quite something. All of a sudden, everything was available. Everything you could buy everything
the
all of a
windows were
sudden.
empty, and then the next day.
Yeah.
they were
The
full.
shelves in the stores were empty, and the next day they were filled with stuff. So,
After the war ends, you mean?
yeah, that was after that. That was because in a change of currency. So, excuse me, I have to blow.
It's okay.
Anyhow, anything else you want to know?
No, I think that was perfect. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
All right. So, well, I hope I have been of any help.
Absolutely, yeah.
I hope
I love the
I hope I influenced you the right way.
That was perfect.
Okay, good. Good luck with the paper.
All right, I'm going to turn off the video now.
One more question.
One more
Are you-
question?
Is there a painting that he's gonna show you of his house in Germany? Can you describe that painting?
Oh, I can show you the.
Oh,
Here, let me
Oh,
have
look
it.
at that.
Show it. Tell us about it. She'll get a picture.
oh, look at this.
And this is
Okay, I'll take snapshots, but let me show these
Oh,
guys.
that's this. You should both of them. Good.
Oh, there.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see
This,
it?
this one.
Yeah, but barely. Put it a little up.
Up?
Where's the one with it destroyed?
Oh wow,
Can you have him hold it, Eileen?
so cool.
Sure. Can you hold that picture? And there's a painting.
Can you get it?
A little higher, Hans.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I will show you another picture.
Yeah.
This is the one I painted. It's,
Oh, that's beautiful.
good. Where's the one with the
right
destroyed?
in the center of the town.
Oh, wow.
Can you explain what that is?
Oh, here is the destruction.
The
Oh,
house.
my gosh.
Was that your own house?
That was our own house. Yeah. There's a little piece of it. It's only part of it,
Okay, I'll take photos.
and there was this part here was called the new store.
You hold it up a little higher?
There was a little lower.
Higher, Hans.
Oh. And that was yeah. Let me see the one.
I'll take photos of these guys. So
Yeah, but we don't know on the recording, we have no idea what that is. So if he could just explain that was his home.
yeah. Oh, I see.
This is the one. This is what it looked like in October '44. Can you see?
That's
Hans, your
Yeah.
hand.
No,
Wow.
it's okay. Yeah, you'll see it better
I
when I take
this
pictures.
is this was the house. That's all that was left of it.
Well, you're lucky you moved to the farm, I guess.
Oh yeah, if he would have still lived in the town when that attack took place, we wouldn't have survived. Nobody survived in that whole area because of the air was so hot. The fire was so strong, it sucked all the oxygen out of the cellars, and people died of
Oh my
asphyxiation.
gosh. Wow.
This is what it looks like now.
This is today. That's today's house.
it's so different.
Yeah. And I don't know why they made that wall in between there, but it's all one big thing.
Mm.
So anyhow,
Wow.
that's where I was born. Boy, we gotta have another pictures there.
No, I don't remember. It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still have the painting, the original, or did you give it away? Or sell it?
You mean, this is an original here, I think, isn't it? No, that's a
Oh,
paint.
that's a copy, I think.
I have all the originals
Yeah.
hanging around somewhere.
Okay, we'll find it. I'll get a good picture of it.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so much for that.
No, it's so cool that you remember that. It's really fascinating.
Well, we were a town of about 60,000 people, and that one night when the bomb hit, about 20,000 died. So it was an awful thing.
Wow.
We got hit by this one bomb 3 weeks earlier. One single bomb hit our house, and that otherwise we would have all been dead. Yeah. Anyhow, so much for the bad things in life.
Yeah, that's awful. I didn't know your dad was killed right then, right in the house. That's
Yeah, it's
horrible.
He was upstairs listening to the radio when the bomb hit.
Huh.
So, and our cellar had the ceilings were the wall, the old-fashioned ceilings. They're
Yeah.
still there. The cellar never crumbled.
That's amazing. Good.
And they found an exit in the cellar that could lead down to the river. They think. I don't know if they ever dug into it, but there were all kinds of escapes from the old days when there was a monastery.
Wow.
My house was a monastery, and anyhow, so much for that.
I'm just a little stickler for detail. I know that when we go to use this video, you showed us those pictures of your house, but
Yeah.
you didn't tell us on the recording what you were showing us. So could you just say, yeah, these,
But which one would be the best to show?
probably the original photo and then your painting, and just explain what it is we're looking at.
This one here?
Yeah.
Well, this is the house, and before it was destroyed, and it's got everything on it, and it's got that addition. This part here is an addition that was put on somewhere in the 20s or 30s, I think.
Can you hold that a little higher?
Yeah, let me tilt it.
There we go.
Is that better?
Okay. Oh, there is a big, yeah, that's good. Oh, I got a big picture here.
Is that enough, Vic, what he just said?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me show you the. I don't know if the glass may have a glare.
Let's see if we can show it.
This one here.
Can you see it?
Yeah. That's so cool.
Oh, it says
And-
Ruffler on it.
Yeah.
That's a furniture store.
That's
Oh,
fur-
that was the store and you
the
lived above
furniture
it?
store.
Furniture
Yeah.
store.
Nice.
It was at one time the biggest furniture store in the state. It was very successful. Okay, you got it?
I think
Yeah.
so, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been really helpful.
Oh,
I'm so happy to be able to speak to you.
and it